Hello and welcome to another review by Robin the Reviewer. Today we are reviewing the Oakcastle DAB500 stereo music system. And from the very off I'm going to say do not be put off by the name of this product. DAB500 would imply that this is just a DAB radio, whereas in fact it's actually got a whole host of music sources or media sources. So it's got a CD player, it's got DAB Plus and FM, it's got Bluetooth, so we can pair it to any other device, mobile phone, laptop, and stream music from that. It's got USB, so you can plug a USB stick or a USB hard drive in for MP3, and it's got auxiliary input as well. So actually, from the name DAB500, this is actually a very comprehensive stereo music system. So without further ado, let's get inside and have a look at this. So just as we can see on the back of the box, it does tell you to extend your warranty for free, and you can get 3 years, which is a long time for electrical products these days. Usually a year is the most you're going to get, but they are offering 3 years, so definitely worth visiting the website and registering the product. So what have we got inside? Inside the box we've got a quick welcome guide, again reminding us about the 3-year warranty. We've also got the conformity leaflet that you have to put in with pretty much every electronic device these days, and we've got what looks like a comprehensive user manual. So quick flip through that. Decent labelled diagrams indicating what everything is, including what's on the remote, and then some pretty well organised instructions on work. Yeah, a lot of detail here. We're into the FM, auxiliary in, alarms, snooze, sleep timer, dual alarm settings, and even some overall system settings. So there is a lot of information here, well worth looking at. And looks like we've got to tip this up in order to get the product out. So, well protected. Let's get the box out of the way. Right, so plenty of polystyrene to keep it well protected in transit. There was polystyrene here over the front volume control, again to stop it getting knocked. In the end we've got power supply and batteries for the remote. We've also got the remote control here. And that looks like it. So we'll get this rest of this packaging off. And get the unit out. Right, so what we've got is a kind of black wood effect, like a speaker. So it's very much like a speaker cabinet. On the bottom we've got 4 properly screwed on rubber feet, so it's not going to vibrate when it's playing. And on the front then we've got our stereo speakers. We've got a central rotary control. This is obviously multifunction, so it's got volume written above it. It's got enter and square, presumably for stop, under it, and we've got kind of the diagram for volume, but I'm sure this is used for entering various values. We've now also got the controls over here for scan, pause and play, eject for the very slim and almost hidden CD drawer that we've got here across the middle. We've got previous track, next track, and then over on this left side we've got the power and mode. We've got preset, I'm sure we'll find out what that does, info and menu, and alarm, as we saw in the instruction manual. So that's everything on the front, and obviously we've got this nice display protected. I've put some protection film over the display, and we'll see what that looks like in a bit. And then if we turn it around, we've got 2 ports for the speakers. We've got our DC in for our power supply. We've got an auxiliary in, so that we can plug in anything that's got an aux out, line out, or headphone out socket. We've got the headphone socket, so if we're wanting to listen alone, we can plug headphones in and not use the speakers. And we've got that USB I mentioned earlier for listening to music off a USB stick or a USB hard drive. And we've also got an aerial. So let's get this connected up, and then we can power it up and go through the controls. So I've now got the power supply plugged in, and we're going to connect this up. So just insert that into the back. It's got a choke on the lead, so that helps reduce noise. And at the moment it says time is not set. Just see that on the display. Now I did actually plug this in off camera, and I was surprised when I'd plugged it in. I turned around and it got the right time on it and the right date, so I thought I'd show you that again. It did exactly the same thing when I plugged it in for the first time. I've not turned it on, I've not connected it to any network. It's fresh out the box, but obviously it's using some DAB signal or RDS signal in order to get that information, which is great. I don't need to worry about the time being correct. Get a power cut, there's no battery backup, so it's 1 clock. I don't need to worry about going around and resetting, which is great. So that's a definite bonus. So I've also put batteries in the remote, just to give you a quick rundown on the remote, because we didn't look at it to start with. So we've got our power button, we've got the eject for the CD, equalizers, alarm, sleep, program, previous track, stop, next track, dimmer, which is good if we can change the brightness on the display. We've got mode, we've got back and menu, we've got volume down, volume up, and then these navigation around the outside, and an OK and a pause play in the middle. Further down we've got a full numeric keypad, also with letters underneath. We've got ABC under the 2, D, E, F. So old mobile phone style letter entry. We've got a favourites button, and we've got our mute button down in the bottom right hand corner. so looks like quite a lot we're going to be able to do with this unit, given that we've got full QWERTY, A to Z capability and numeric capability on the remote. So not just a simple remote, quite a comprehensive remote. So let's turn it on from the remote, and immediately straight out of the box it's picked radio 1, and it's telling us what the program is. I'll just tip that up so you can see that. And I'd have to say, even though that's got no subwoofer in it, it's just 2 drivers, although they're pretty large drivers in there. The robust cabinet, the solid build cabinet, and the feet means that it's got a great sound. Let's have a look at the equalizers, and that's on normal. So they've got classic, jazz, so tip that up again so you can see it, pop, rock, speech, and somewhere for your own, so you can presumably set up your own EQ. But we'll stick with normal, and you can see an asterisk in the corner, so that's obviously identifying which is the current one. Yeah, so that has changed. There we go, back to normal. I'll just mute it for a moment. It says volume muted on the display. So if we have a quick look through modes, so we've got FM. If you remember, at the moment I've not even got the aerial up at the back. That's pretty impressive without an aerial. So that's the FM, that's our Bluetooth, CD. So there's nothing in there. USB, aux in, and back to DAB. So, having never used this before, if I want to change channels, if I go back, yeah, menu, full scan, manual tune, DRC, prune, system. So I go full scan. Let's see how many stations it'll pick up. Got 8 so far. $20. 44, 56, and that's where we're at, 56.
Stormzy, this is Future Sounds. 3 more tracks to go.
Come on.
So, physically,
obviously it's very good at playing BBC Radio 1.
So interesting, sort of, being around you and watching there, because we were watching Kendrick Lamar together.
List.
Of course, yeah,
and you were there essentially like, as a fan
stations.
In your belly, trying not to get noticed. But look, you, and I remember thinking like, this must be
Capital.
Gonna make your glass sustain.
There we go. So easy enough to navigate between the stations that it's found and play what you want. So let's try Bluetooth now. So no connection at the moment. So I shall grab my phone and see if it's visible as... Yeah, and we've got Oakcastle DAB500 on the list. So pick to connect to that. A nice connected tone. That was pretty quick. So we'll open up Spotify. go for the big audio testing playlist and stick on something with some oomph and some bass. I can turn the volume up via the phone. So that's pretty much at full volume, and there is no distortion. The bass and the treble are still both very clear, and I would happily listen to that. There's nothing particularly missing anywhere within the frequency range there. Let's put something a little bit more vocal on.
Only just one good cry.
Put it back down.
Don't stop, 'cause if it don't die. Trip drop, only just one good cry. Let it rain, don't stop, 'cause if it don't die.
Yeah, that sounds very natural
Only just one good cry. Let it rain, don't stop, 'cause if it don't
and very rich.
Trip drop, only just one good cry. Let it rain, don't stop, 'cause if it don't die. So how can you forgive me?
Yeah, that's very good. Now one last track.
Can you still talk with me?
This is guitars, and it's got a lot of presence, acoustic guitars. Yeah, and that sounds great too. I can't fault it across a few different genres. We've heard speech on the radio, and that is really clear. And surprisingly, I can use the remote. So it's not just the audio, it does actually have music control from the remote, so that's presumably exactly the same as on the device as well. So I don't need to keep reaching for my phone or for my MP3 player. I can use the controls on the unit or on the remote. So now that we've tried that, let's try some CDs. Right, so I'm going to try two types of CD now. This is a standard audio CD. Are still CDs around, and I think there will be for some time yet. So let's get the CD drawer open. So we need to switch to CD first. Yep. Open. All right. In there. Yeah, does respond to touch. There we go, straight in on track one. And if we pause, it's flashing the current time. Again, great reproduction on the CD. Let's get on to track two. And I can clearly hear the audio that's moving left to right and right to left. So the reproduction and the stereo is great. So from the remote, open the drawer, and let's swap now to a CD of my MP3 tracks. And we'll close that and see if it does as well at playing these.
Somewhere out there
it's
in the
also
vast
picked up the
nothingness
track
of
now.
space.
So it's picked up folder 1, track 1,
Somewhere far away
time,
in space and time.
and the name of the track. So if you've
Staring
got
upward at the gleaming
encoded
stars
MP3
in the obsidian
CDs,
sky.
you'll be able to play those as well.
We're
Close that. So obviously, along with all of that, we've got our alarms. You can set up 2 alarms. We've got the sleep timer as well, and we've, I should have tried from the remotes, we've got this dimmer button, so you might just be able to tell, goes through 3 different levels of brightness on the display. So if you've got it beside a bed, you can have it a little dimmer and not get disturbed. And yeah, a brilliant unit, very solidly built, feels like a speaker cabinet with a stereo system inside it, which is good because then you get the best reproduction you can. No flimsy plastic. This is solid. I do think that is wood, not just a wood effect. It feels very solid indeed, and great sound. So that is again the Oakcastle DAB500. Thank you very much for watching.